Shit. All right. Steffen, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. And introduce yourself, dude. Who the fuck are you? Why does the internet need to give a shit?
You don't need to give a shit. I'm just Steffen.
Fair.
Yeah. No, just my name is Steffen. I'm 33 years old today.
Today,
Today.
Mr. Birthday Boy.
Getting the cake later. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I started training with Trevor and the Fella's Father program for a year ago ish.
Mm-hmm.
Around that. I started because I was in a very bad spot. Had a lot of issues with my back and my neck after an accident back in 2010 where I broke my neck and basically did, I guess, what every other guy would do in the situation. You start training as a motherfucker to get back on your feet. While doing that, I was doing everything wrong and I fucked up my entire body. So there's that. And after that, I went down a pretty hard spiral. Yeah, mental issues and physical body breaking down on me. So yeah.
Young too. Breaking down on you, young.
Yeah, and I was 20 at the point when I broke my neck. So it's 13 years ago now. And I've been struggling with pain, struggling with my mental state. My whole psychology was upside down. Didn't quite feel like life was worth living for a while, as I never got out of the pain shit, and the situation was just horrifying, to be honest. So I started training with Trevor to actually, keep my body in shape so that I could handle my work. I did work as an electrician at the time, starting to feel more and more pain every day at work. Basically, because I was undertrained, my back was fucked up, my neck was fucked up, and severe migraines from time to time.
Yeah, they were a basket case.
Yeah, it was bad. But then we got around. Trevor whipped me around his gym studio locally here in Norway, which I wouldn't have needed because he would whip me anyway. But so 6, 7, 8 months ago, that's when I really started to feel like, okay, this is turning around. We started with some standard conditioning, right? Am I right? Wrong?
Yeah, I mean, really, what we did with you. Well, let's flip that for a second. So, I mean, within the first 6 months, what did we do with you? We knocked off probably about 5 kilos, 10 pounds ish of body fat. Got it down there, and while we were working on fixing your laundry list of shit, we also got about 5 kilos of muscle on your frame. That's another 10 pounds. So basically, flip that around. So even while we were dealing with pain and dysfunction, we were able to find what you needed to actually start progressing, because it was a bit of a unique situation when you're coming in from really just being fucked up for years, like having bad energy, having all these things. Like, you were demotivated, right? You didn't want to really start training because training didn't work for you. Working out wasn't working for you at all.
Yeah, nothing was working out. Not training, not working, anything.
Yeah. So, yeah. Really, what got you? Because there's a lot of guys in that position, right? There's a lot of guys that are jacked up, feeling like shit, have worked their asses off, and really haven't seen a return on the investment other than just feeling like fucking garbage all the time, even more so, despite hard work, despite putting in energy. So what got you in the door? What was the thing that started this?
Well, first of all, I got a child back in 2020, um,
Hmm.
and that was a huge motivation uh, for just getting out of uh, getting out of the situation and start taking control of the pain. But at the moment when I started to get the motivation, I didn't know how to. So I needed to go to a place where I knew I could get the exact information and the help I needed to overcome my problems or problems and pains and stiff bodies or body and muscles aching everywhere. And I heard about you through my fiance, and she said you should try this. It might help you. And yeah, uh, I sort of just trotted in your door one day and hey, let's start this shit.
Yeah, that was
So
literally it, actually.
yeah, that's kind of where we started. But yeah, but also the
Well, kind of felt like
mental.
a last ditch effort, right?
I'm sorry.
Kind of felt like, well, fuck it. It kind of felt like a last ditch effort for you. Like, I've tried everything else. Like, fuck it. I'll try one more time.
Yeah,
Style
yeah, but also
situation.
I was so far down that I probably couldn't get any lower. Like I was, yeah, borderline suicide because I didn't see any end of this or end to this.
Yeah.
But now I do. So that's good.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty exciting thing because you had a big turnaround physically. Well, a huge, life changing turnaround physically. Let's not say big, literally fucking life changing here. Um, and was it that hard, really? Once you got into it, and once you were given the tools and given what you needed to do, was it that hard to change your fucking life through your physicality?
Not after a while,
No,
or not a while,
at the
but
start.
a short period of time. It was hard, but that was
Mm-hmm.
because I was so far down mentally. It wasn't hard physically because I got pushed by multiple people. Not
Mm-hmm.
only not only you, but my fiance and the community at the gym. Uh, Kind of enforced me to get out of the house, get to the gym, do those fucking repetitions and sets, and get on with my life. So it was hard, probably the first 2 weeks, not
Yeah,
physically, but mentally. It was the
just get in the door.
yeah, it was kind of a blockage in my brain. I had to get over that fucking. I don't know what's it called, but yeah, you just had to get out there, and do it.
Yeah,
Mm.
you mentioned the community because we both, we have that in the physical and we have that in the online space too. We like to marry those two realms within the program because it's so important. I find
Yeah.
it so important for guys to have that. But what has been your experience? Like what has that done for you? Being a part of that of the Fearless Fathers community.
Yeah, huge amount of motivation. Um, Also bringing fun back to the training because it's not all
Mhm.
like you're alone in a gym doing your sets and repetitions and going home. You're actually there, or wherever you do it, bantering with guys and the people that are there. Like training starts to be fun when you enter the door. It's not like, oh fuck, it's a chore. Like
Yep.
you get there, you know you have to do shit, but you can still have fun while doing it, and that
Yep. Once you
was
get
a
that
huge
feedback and
motivation.
interaction.
Yeah, and also you get pushed by the community, right? I mean, you you talk to the guys, and they're like, okay, what's your goals? Okay, I want to do like I think my first goal was 150 kilos in deadlift,
Oh yeah, we smashed that.
and took me 3 months, and I was at 140, going up from 70, I think it was.
Doubled it in three
Kilos.
months.
Yeah, and just getting to that number while the other guys saw it was like damn, you're getting strong, boy. You're doing this shit. And like they started motivating, and well, uh, we're probably way above 150 now, if I would, to be honest. But somebody won't let me. It's, but yeah,
Pre-Christmas, you
um,
get the test. You get the test, and I
yeah,
fucking believe that we're gonna hit 400 pounds or 180 kilos.
easily, easily.
Yep, I
But
believe
yeah,
it.
the motivation and lost for words here right now.
Well, you're working 2 languages, so plus you're fucking
Yeah,
dumb.
well, yeah, and I got ADD. Right? Thankfully.
Like no like.
But yeah, but the atmosphere, that's the right word. The
Mm.
atmosphere when you get into the training with the guys and the program and just being able to talk to the right people for what you're trying to do is just I don't know, it's beautiful, but then again, it's highly encouraging when you're there.
Yep. And it's, I mean, for you, it's been life changing. It's the same thing for a lot of guys um, in the program, but
Yeah,
the community, being around guys that were performing at a higher level than you, at least
yeah,
career wise. What
yeah.
what was
Not
the
only
motivator? Where are you at now?
well, right now I'm doing. I've done a full 360 in my life, or 180, or what it's called. So I quitted my job as an electrician. Um, I'm now studying back-end developing IT while learning day trading, forex markets. I'm doing
And doing
my
well.
yeah. Well, we'll see in a couple of years. But I'm also doing my musical stuff, as you probably can see. Um, Although that's just a side thing, that's more for fun, for my creational outbursts. You should call it that. I'm being a father for a 3.5-year-old daughter. I have another kid
And
coming.
soon. Mm.
Yeah. Um, Being a husband slash fiance. What's it called?
Fiance.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, life is just giving me lemonade or lemons, and I just made lemonade with it.
You did. It's because you're so
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah, more sour. But,
Well, yeah. Now you're tangy.
but yeah,
Uh,
turn around my life completely.
yeah. It is, and that's, I mean, that's the great thing about the community is it passively pushes us
Yeah,
to do better, to do more, to be more, because we see a lot of people succeeding. We see a lot of guys
yeah,
succeeding on a daily basis, and then it becomes in an environment where that's happening and it's natural, and people want you to succeed, not at the cost of being less than, but being more than you are. And that, Jesus, holy God, that's powerful. What is it? We've got in the community right now, six guys that are changing careers and finally happy about it,
yeah,
not feeling like they're just in a day in, day out of garbage, and like the next 20, 30 years are going to be exactly the same, and they're going to feel like shit, and they're going to move like shit, and everything's going to be just a steaming pile of garbage. Like they've completely moved beyond that and into a world where there are actually possibilities, and you can actually be the man you want to be, and you could be surrounded by people that want that for you.
yeah. Well, one of the good things for me with the community was that I've always wanted to go into the IT sector or anything related to computer science. And fortunately, there's 5 guys there doing
5 or 6, yeah.
yeah exactly the same thing that I want to do. So uh, for me, getting out of my eggshell, being an electrician, and just have to do the whole flip around, I could easily access a lot of information about that stuff because I was around people who actually work there, and was highly motivated to get more people into the IT sector,
Yep.
and
Good place to
they
be.
kind of pushed me to do it. So they kind of made me file an application for the school and kick my ass to do it.
It did.
I mean, obviously I train locally at Trevor, but I mean, if I were training on an online uh, kind of session, I could always talk to the people, right?
That's what we do. That's what we do. We
So
push each other in those conversations. We push each other in those group meetings. Um, we figure out what's going on and we make those connections, dude. We got people all over the world in all different walks of life in all different trades. Um, Actually, I'm gonna have to get you in contact with Jonas, one of the German guys, because he's a German banker. He's creating these programs for personal finance, and they look amazing. He's been workshopping for years, but he and I have been talking about that. He's getting his personal business off the ground. They look amazing. He's doing them in English, fortunately, so
well,
we can all benefit from
the
that.
German would
Well,
be
that's okay.
hard.
Hmm?
The German would be hard.
The German would be very difficult. Yes. So this has pushed you. The community has pushed you. The fitness thing. Let's talk about that a little bit. So in terms of just capability and energy, you started it where you're nothing. What were you in pain? Capability, energy, and pain. You started in just like the absolute lowest end of awful. And now what's that look like? What does that feel like to you?
Well, first off, we can start by where I was, because just to get the perspective on it, I was waking up every day with aches in my lower back, my upper back, my neck, and my shoulders.
Mm.
Uh, like pretty exhausting pain, like popping paracetamol before going to work, eating paracetamol at work, and when I got home. And got worse through the day, like using my body in static motions, uh, stuff in the roof.
So just kept taking more and more and more energy just to get through every single
A
day.
huge sinkhole of energy, like going right out of
What's
my
that?
body. And when I stopped working as an electrician, my energy kind of got back up just a tiny bit.
Mm.
But when I started doing workouts through the program and using the progression tools you gave me, what I noticed was that, first of all, my energy skyrocketed. Like 3 weeks into the program, I finally was able not to sleep on the couch when I got back from work or when I had a rough day. Um, then slowly, the pain in my lower back went away. Um, of course, there was more issues in the upper back and shoulders and neck,
Look a bit.
but we worked through them as well. Where I'm right now is the only place I feel pain is my neck, and that's locally around the area or the vertebrae that I actually broke, and it's
Mm.
related to stress, because right now I'm in a somewhat stressful situation with school and all the other stuff. So I can feel a lot of stress pain, but it's I can work around it because I can do stuff to manage the pain and the stress in the muscles by doing the exercises I actually have gotten and got, and I can do more stretching and stuff at the gym
Yeah.
and rolling out and massaging and shit. So
Yeah, all those
I'm using
mobility rehab stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It
working.
just it's just good tools to help, especially with acute injuries. And that's the problem with acute injury. There's always going to be something that lingers, so it needs to be managed and mitigated. And programs, your personal individual program needs to be altered and changed to suit those things. And that's one of the big things that I think has kept you going through a lot of stressful situations, is we're really focusing on keeping shit from getting worse, of course, and making sure like any pain stuff gets better. We're focusing on the primary goals that you have, which is the deadlift and the bench stuff. And that keeps the motivation. It keeps it fun because you know you're always progressing. Even in the middle of stress. Remember, Steffen here is only training once a week. He's getting these crazy results and he's only training once a week. Because that's all he's got time for.
Yeah, we did do 2 trainings a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that was probably the time I had least progression, to be honest.
Yeah, actually backing off was the best for you.
I went up from 80 kilos on bench, from 80 kilos to 130 on the jammer bars. In 2 weeks when I started to train once a week.
Yep.
Because
just blew through those plateaus.
Obviously, it gave me the time to recuperate better, but I do other shit as well. I'm not only doing the training stuff, so I'm using my body physically outside of the training or workouts.
Yep. And it gives you the energy to do that and the space to do that.
Yeah. So.
What do you think? Biggest challenge to get your success? What do you think is the biggest challenge? How was that overcome?
Well, first of all, in the beginning, it was the energy part, right? And then it was doing the exercise correctly, like learning my body to move a specific way to actually do it correctly. Relearning the movement basically, because remember I used 3 years after I got out of my injury to basically train my physicality up again, but I did it wrong. So I basically learned myself the wrong way to do it, or almost wrong. I didn't have the range of motion perfect like I have now, but the weights didn't go by far as high up as we are now, and that's all because I've relearned how to do it. And that was a big challenge for me, because it was so hard encoded in my brain how to do it.
Yeah.
When I now do it with the right motions, range of motions, and the right way to do it, it's just easier and easier and easier.
Feels better and better and better.
But then again, also I had a big issue with my psychology, right? I had to overcome some pretty hard shit.
Very heavy, very deep.
Yeah, it was also a heavy energy drain, to be honest. Yeah, I spent like probably, I don't know, 3 hours a day just preparing my brain to you're actually going to function. You're actually going to do stuff today.
Yep.
You're going to get out there and do shit. So, but I mean, that was also a very good thing with the community, because it drove me out of my miserable spiral, right? Because I just get out there. I mean, it forced me to get out and meet people and be social and start over again.
Yeah, so it broke through a bunch of those barriers. It just broke through a bunch of those barriers. I mean, you had to take the leap, though. You had to be brave enough to take the leap. That was the big thing. You decided that your alternatives were not great, so you decided that you were going to be brave enough to take that leap. And in doing that, I mean, you changed your entire life position. So how does it feel now to have muscles that freaking work, right? To have a body that does what you want it to do, to be able to pick up your kid without a whole bunch of fucking back pain or neck pain. How does that feel?
It feels fucking great.
Yes.
It's indescribable. You just like there. It's a completely new life, so I'm not used to this. I everything I can remember is after 2010, right? There's just been pain,
Yep.
pain and energy, starvation, and yeah. So
Like
it
a
just feels,
decade of it, over a decade.
yeah, it feels fucking great to be able to do stuff that I actually want to do right now, and not be stuck with like, fuck. If I walk this hike, I'm gonna have back pains for, I don't know, 3 days or something, right?
Yeah.
So that feels fucking great that I'm able to use my body and my muscles and do shit that I actually wanted. Um, when I started at Trevor's, when I started with the Fearless Father program, I wanted to, I had set three goals. I was pushing 100 in bench, getting up to 150 in deadlifts. That's kilos for
Hmm.
American friends. When are you, by the way, when are you starting to use the metric system? Because it's
Base 10
but
for
yeah,
life, son.
yeah. But anyways, I also had a goal to get back to the mixed martial arts stuff because I
Yeah.
used to do all of that stuff before I broke my neck. I did karate and I did Krav Maga and MMA. And 9 months later, after I started with Trevor, I was back. Although I'm taking a break right now because I broke 2 ribs doing it because I'm a weak.
Which is inevitable.
Yeah, it's just a part of the game.
I know
Right?
you and your weak ribs. You should be fucking disappointed in yourself that your ribs are just, they're made of bone and not titanium. You can't be Wolverine.
Got to get more of that
Holy
calcium
shit,
shit.
motherfucker, you're mortal.
Yeah, so I reached all of my fucking goals, and I blew the bench part right out of proportions that I didn't know I was going to blow out of.
I destroyed it. You destroyed it.
And I did a lot of other stuff as well that kind of helped me with pull-ups, and I did rowing shit. Yeah, push and pull,
Push and pull, getting strong, getting everything strong. Getting everything strong because everything needs to be strong if you want to do shit.
Yeah.
Well, lose weight, get strong.
Right now, I am at a point where I feel like I can take on more stuff than I probably should, right? Not training wise, but
Navigation.
Yeah, lifestyle wise, I can like now I'm doing the forex stuff and I'm doing the back end developing. I feel I could do more, but my brain won't, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's that.
Yeah, you and I both have the messed up brain, though. We both have the ADHD brain messing with us. So there's always a layer of navigation to play with there. But I personally find, and I don't know how you feel about this. I find that the training and the physical work, and the focus on that really, 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 really helps the messed up brain functioning. It can be a good reset in a week to get back on track.
Yeah, it's, as I only have one training a week, it's a real good reset for me.
Mm-hmm.
I might come to the gym being all fluttered in my brain, like thought trains everywhere, like
Mm-hmm.
being unfocused at anything I do prior that day. Like I could have been sitting on doing an assignment for school while not really doing the assignment because I'm never fucking aware, right? Then I get to the gym and I'm super highly focused for 45 minutes to an hour, get back, and then the assignment's done within 15 minutes, right? Because I'm in that focused state when I get back from training. And well, I do my training, I go home, take a shower, eat some food, and back to school work, and just
the big heavy primary weekly task just gets slaughtered. You just knock it right out of the park right there. It's that force multiplier thing,
True.
Capacity creates capacity.
Yeah, but also the energy. Like I feel you obviously get more energy by doing workouts because your body gets better and shit. But also the mental capacity also rises a lot after you've been doing the training because you're like just was.
Here's one for you.
Mhm.
I don't think we've touched on this before, but and this is something I've noticed personally, because I get annoyed at shit fairly easily, and when you do the mental health stuff, when you're working on the therapy, and then you're working with the training, I've personally found that it's added a lot of capacity to myself as a father. I got 3 kids running around, so it's always chaos. Like, there's never a moment that's not chaos. And if there is a moment that's not chaos, like, when's it going to tick over to absolute insanity?
In a couple of years.
But I'm able to deal with that so much better. I'm able to deal with that so much better. How do you feel about that statement?
It's true. 100%. Yeah. It's like all of this frustration of all this small stupid shit that happens through the day, like where you tear yourself down or things does not go your way. All that frustration just goes away when you get to the gym and you just bash your muscles with tedious repetitions and shit. But
Yep.
you get there and when you go out the door, it's like, oh fuck yes, I'm done, and you're focused. And anything turns into like this, I don't know, easy thing to do. It's weird to say, but and weird to explain, but it's I don't know.
You're working through the emotions in the weights, in the Iron Palace. You're working through the emotions of the day. You're working through the shit that's in your head. You're working through the stuff that most dads, most men don't get a moment to work through. If they're not using their bodies, if they're not taking care of themselves, it's going to be booze, it's going to be weed, it's going to be painkillers for some people. It's going to be something, some sort of substance to dull what needs to be processed. And then you've got a community that wants you to succeed. You've got people to talk to that are going to help you with the processing a little bit, who've been where you are or ahead of where you are. So you always have someone to catch up to or run stuff off of. I've asked a bunch of questions of you. You've helped me with a bunch of stuff that I didn't know I needed help with, just through talking about your processes. It's been massively beneficial. And then that gets rid of that anxiety, that emotional like weight that is always tied in our center. And that Jesus, what that does for capacity as fathers, as partners, as workers, right? Like, you're going to walk into the new job situation and you're going to have like 5 times the energy and capacity of the other people around you. And that's going to show. And that's, well, I know it because I see it all the time with the guys that are training with me and the guys that are training in the program. They go into new careers or they change their careers and on. The energy levels are so much bigger. A lot of them get promotions. A lot of them get in positions that they really want to be in because they have that mental acuity and they have that physicality to carry it through. Good God. Like, what? So let's bring that in. What would you say? What would you say to somebody who's in that position you were in, or somewhere around that, who's like thinking, well, okay, yeah, it's going to be hard and it's going to be an investment. I'm going to have to pay for it. It's going to be time, energy, effort. And like, really, can I do this? Like, this is scary. This is scary. What is this really going to get me? Because I've tried stuff before and stuff hasn't worked. Is this guy full of shit? Right? What would you say to that?
First of all, you're not full of shit, because I'm a living proof that it actually fucking works.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, I was on the brink of suicide, right? I was contemplating suicide because I was so far down. I used Trevor as a sparring partner when I way down, and what that did was make me look at the situation in a different way, and just getting out of this fucking bubble of sitting home, continuously dragging yourself down with negative thoughts and bad habits for a start. You kind of start to see things from a different perspective, and it happens fast. Like, when you just get out there, just push yourself through the first fucking hard days. And I shit you not, it's 3 fucking hard days. They're hard, but once you've pushed yourself through those fucking days, everything changes, like rapidly changes. But if you're in that situation that I was, where you're physically struggling, mentally struggling, struggling at home because you failed to do the things you really want to do or need to do, I would say just start slowly. Don't rush into it. Like, as I mentioned, those 3 days should be baby steps. I mean,
Yep.
take it easy. Don't overdo it. If you get to practice and you do one exercise with, I don't know, 2 sets and 5 repetitions, that's good. That's
Yep.
way better than you did last day, right? Because yesterday you did nothing.
And there's the heart of it.
But also there's this aspect of the community, right? You can use the community as a sparring partner when you have these bad situations. I mean, life will always go up and down, but when you're down, it's really fucking great to have guys around you that you actually can talk to, and don't be afraid of telling how you feel and what your thoughts are, because you'll get another perspective, right? Those guys will I shit you not, they will break down your bad habits and see right through them the second you do it. And that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing, because that will help you break out of your cycle. So for the love of God, just start talking to guys. Anybody.
Yep.
Could be me, could be Trevor, right? If anybody wants to talk about this shit, I'm free to talk to anybody, right? You can call me. I'll go more in depth in my situation for those who need it, but I'm here for anybody that needs to talk. Really, I've since I've been down and gotten back up to my feet, I've kind of started thinking that, okay, there's a huge problem with especially guys and their mental state in this day and age we're living in, because you just don't get the help you need if you don't seek it. And that's the big thing. You have to seek the right help. And the right help in many situations could just be talking to other guys, other men, especially.
It's because we're isolated, dude. We're isolated, and we're not putting ourselves in positions to not be isolated. And that's why, I mean, that is the reason. That is the fucking reason for the Fearless Fathers community. And that's the reason for our community calls. And that's the reason for our community meetups when we have them. Like, to do that, to create that. Fitness is how we start to better ourselves. Fitness is how we get the capacity to do everything. And then community is how we continue to do everything. Community is how we continue to push forward. So we're not living in a vacuum. We're not living in a bubble. We're not living in situations where it's just us against the world, because that's not how it's ever really been for men. There are no lone wolves. Lone wolves fucking die. It's community. And we help each other, and we have to help each other because no one else is helping us. So we have to do it. We have to take the reins of that, both with our physicality and our fitness, and with our communities and our interactions. And then it does what you do. Just like you said, that offer, that princely, amazing offer. Hey, I'll talk to you. I will talk to you. And you will. And you do. Routinely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's incredibly powerful stuff.
Yeah. After I've gotten out of my shit myself, I'm just starting to advocate more for and there goes my ADD brain again.
Men's mental health.
Yeah. I want to help people that are in the same situation that I was, because I know what the fuck it was, and it was awful.
No.
To be honest.
It was awful.
Yeah. And nobody nobody's nobody needs to be there or deserves to be
No,
there.
it's a dark friggin' closet that's cold and full of spiders, and you want to be able to rip the goddamn door off and step into the light. And sometimes it seems entirely impossible to rip the door off. And look at you ripped the goddamn door off. Now you're living your best life. Literally living your best life.
Yeah.
There's always going to be challenges, of course. But holy shit.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need that one guy or those guys, a couple of guys, to just rip that door for you. And that's what the community did for me. It ripped those fucking doors right off the hinges and let me step out. So
now you got to get to 33 and eat cake.
I'm sorry?
Now you got to be 33 and eat cake and play with your kids and run around and do all sorts of crazy shit without pain, without dysfunction, without worrying what the next day is going to bring in terms of pain and dysfunction, and with energy.
That's not bad, though. That's super great.
And a terrible, terrible sense of humor that we all are subjected to on a freaking routine basis.
Yeah,
God, talk about self-betterment. Work on that.
I'll never work on the humor because I know I can pester you with it.
God, I love it. I love it. Love you. Love that humor. My God. Was there anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to get out there? Nuggets of wisdom. Comments, thoughts?
No, I'm right now. My brain is not on that level right
It's
now.
heavy stuff. Yep. It's heavy stuff. It's heavy stuff to walk through this.
Yeah,
heavy stuff to
walk. I have to rip up some shit, but that's. I mean, it's a part of the process. You will get to situations where you will rip up the stuff that you had problems with earlier, right? But then again, it only strengthens you when you get out on the other side each time. So for me, this is somewhat hard, but then again, it's really fucking good to get off the chest, right?
Yep.
And let people know that they're not alone in the situation. People tend to want to help, although they don't really know how to all the time.
Yep.
And that's where where I think that just the talking, even though it's don't need to be that super super strict or whatever you should call it. Like it could be banter, right? It could be just fun, bad humor.
Yeah.
Right. As long as it helps you to get your brain out of that spiraling shit storm that people in this situation know what I'm talking about. It's a good help.
Yep.
Right?
Because you've been there and you've gotten out of it, and you've gotten all the tools. You've gotten all the tools for your body. You've gotten more tools for your mind, and you've worked on those. Yeah. And you've walked that path. You know exactly what it looks like, and so you know where every guy listening to this is starting. They might be awful, they might be middle, but either way, there's pain, there's dysfunction, and there doesn't have to be pain, and there doesn't have to be dysfunction. And it's as long as there's a good starting point, and the starting point is adjusted for you, the starting point is adjusted for me, the starting point is adjusted for everybody. So they have it working from their individual perspective, their individual, unique starting point. Then they can succeed. Because at that point, if you can get through those three days, like you said, if you get through those first 3 weeks, and then you interact a little bit and you keep doing the work, you keep repeating what you need to repeat at the level you can repeat it at, you can literally not fail. The only way you fail is if you don't put in some energy and effort. It's the only way to fail. And if you want to succeed, if you want to get out of that, all you got to do is show the fuck up. That's all you got to do. And then if you're having trouble showing up, man, we will help you. We will help you. Because everybody has trouble showing up sometimes.
Yeah, that's normal. Those first 3 weeks, 3 days, those are the hardest. But then again, when you have the community that's supporting you around you, like with the Fairest Father program and the gym, right? I mean, it's so much easier when you're not have not going through it alone, right? When you're
Yep.
being pushed to actually get to training, when there's a guy at your local gym or whatever that sends you a message, hey, are you coming to training today? Are we crushing those fucking weights today? Are we adding shit? Right. Kind of, it motivates you because you get this extra push from somebody else than yourself, and it don't need to be like something you have to do, but you just want to do it.
Yep.
Might feel like a chore the first 3 days, but then it starts to get fun. And when you start to see things actually work and you get better and better and better, that's when the real fun starts. When you can
Mm-hmm.
really start testing yourself, like how much am I able to do? How much can I fuck up
That
these
feels
weights with?
good. Mm-hmm.
That's a good feeling of accomplishment when you walk out the gym and you know you've hit your target goal. You know you've crushed your target goal. That's one of the best feelings I get now. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
and also you always feel valued when you're doing the gym stuff, workouts, because you have the guys around you. Uh, you will laugh together, damn nearly cry together sometimes when it gets hard. But
You'll get that feedback. You'll get that
yeah,
feedback. You'll get the real feedback. Yeah.
and that's a really fucking good thing.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. And so, Steffen, thank you so much for being vulnerable, for being honest, for being truly, 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 really honest. And I'm sure this is going to help a lot of guys make some decisions that are going to make their life better. And if you guys want to, if this resonates with you, if this speaks to you, if this hits you on a level where you think you might want to be achieving something greater than you are right now and moving beyond garbage to good, from surviving really, really, truly to thriving, like Steffen, book a call. Just book a call. We'll have a chat. We'll see what we can do together. Just do that down below. But thank you. And Steffen, thank you again.
You're welcome.
Always a pleasure. You beautiful, beautiful man. Hmm.